Last night I saw Star Wars The Last Jedi for a second time, and today I would like to go through all of my predictions for Star Wars Episode 9. We are still about 1.5 years out, if it actually is in May of 2019 and not pushed back to December, so we're quite a ways out, but I still think it's a good idea just to go through everything, and then when Episode 9 comes out, we can look back at all my predictions now and see how wrong they are. If you want to see a video of me looking back at my Episode 8 predictions, then leave a comment down below, and if I get enough comments, I'll do it. I think the movie will start with the Rebels, which I guess they're still called the Resistance, but they've been calling themselves Rebels, so I'm just going to call them Rebels. The Rebels have amassed their forces. Basically, they are going to be doing just what they were saying they were going to start doing at the end of 8. I think they're going to start rallying forces. They're going to have their allies in all corners of the galaxy. They're going to have all those people that were oppressed by the First Order. And I think their forces are going to be around the level of the Rebels in the original trilogy. Which, yes, it's sort of taking a step back. I get that criticism. But I think it's sort of balanced out by the fact that that's just how war works. It just kind of goes back and forth and back and forth. So I think it makes sense that they're going to be the size of the Rebels were in Episode 4, and basically in between 8 and 9, pretty close to the story of Star Wars Rebels that we've seen. That's going to be what happens in between there, and their forces will be gathered. The First Order, on the other hand, I think are going to be having not so great of a time. I think their forces are going to be crumbling under the terrible leadership of Kylo Ren, since he is now the Supreme Leader. I think that their forces are going to be starting to crack, and they're going to have lots of subdivisions. Hux is trying to take over, lots of people are trying to take over because they see how, I guess, brash and almost arrogant, and not a great leader Kylo Ren is. Pretty much everyone doesn't like the First Order, and they now are going to be willing to fight the First Order because of what Luke did. Luke's significance in The Last Jedi was that he really rekindled the legend of Luke Skywalker, and he brought back the hope that everyone felt when he was around. And what Luke did to the whole galaxy saw him as taking the fire of the entire First Order barrage and then making their Supreme Leader look like a fool. So basically, Luke Skywalker is going to be obviously on the side of the Rebels. The galaxy is going to see that and want to side with the Rebels because of that. We also saw the start of that at the end of The Last Jedi with Broom Kid and his friends talking about the battle. As for Broom Kid, I think Rey will find him somewhere in the middle of Episode 9 and begin to train him. But I don't really know the significance of him. There's a chance he'll be part of a different part of canon, like Rian Johnson's new trilogy. I think by Episode 9, Rey is going to be significantly more powerful. I think she's going to be studying using the books and learning how to make her own lightsaber using those books. On the second viewing, I can basically confirm that those books are from the tree. I was looking at the stems in the library scene, and they look pretty identical. I'll be very surprised if they are not the Jedi texts, so I think she's going to be using those to further her training. She's going to have Luke's guidance because he most probably is going to be a Force ghost since he faded away. So I think she's going to be quite powerful in Episode 9. I don't know if she and Luke will be communicating in between 8 and 9, or if we'll see them communicate for the first time in Episode 9. But that Luke's role is going to be weird. I don't know how he's going to play a part. He might not even show up to the end, like in Return of the Jedi with Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin. So we don't really know how Luke's going to play a part, but I think Rey is going to be quite powerful. And Kylo Ren is also going to be powerful, but not in a more refined way, more in a raw way. I think his power is going to increase, but since he has no one to guide him, he's just kind of blindly throwing it out there, and he's still going to be quite powerful, but I think Rey is going to be more controlled, and I think that's why she'll be able to overpower him if a duel does ensue. I think Leia's death will be explained in the crawl, and Episode 9 will probably open with some sort of maybe funeral or some sort of memorial, maybe even for Luke and Han in the same little scene. I think there won't be any on-screen death for Leia, and that's just very unfortunate that we won't get to see Leia in this movie. If you guys didn't know, Kathleen Kennedy explained that Episode 7 was going to be Han's movie, Episode 8 was going to be Luke's, and Episode 9 was going to be Leia's. But unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passed away, and the whole situation's pretty crap. But that's okay. I think they'll have to just do it in the crawl. I don't think there's any... I really wouldn't want them to, like, CG her for one scene, or even make her in a ship that explodes. I think in the crawl is a fitting way. I don't know. As a result of Leia's death, I think Poe will actually become the leader of the Resistance, with Rey by his side as being, I guess, like the main Jedi of the place. I think they'll kind of both be leading, with Poe being, I guess, more of the figurehead, but Rey being the one everyone looks up to because she's a Jedi, but Poe really, like, holding everyone together. At the end of The Last Jedi, they had their little meeting, and I think they will have some sort of good relationship in in Episode 9. I don't know how it's going to work with Finn and Rose and Rey and them having a bit of a love triangle, but what might end up happening is that Finn and Rose will get together, I guess, and Poe and Rey will get together. I've heard a lot of people saying that Rey's parents might not be just nobodies and Kylo Ren was lying, and I really, really hope that is not the case. I really like that Rey is a nobody, because it really does bring back the mysticism of the Force, that the Force can rise up in anyone, and just to say she's like related to someone, it ruins really that whole idea. There were early concepts for some Sith Force Ghosts or Dark Side Force Ghosts, and that might show up in Episode 9 with Snoke becoming a Force Ghost, and not being dead, or however they do it. Snoke, I don't know how I feel about that. It would be cool to see Luke and Snoke fight, I guess, in like the spirit realm, but I don't know, that might be getting a little too weird. But yeah, that's my predictions for Episode 9. I might do a full plot speculation like I did for The Last Jedi once we get a couple trailers, so probably sometime around next year. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you've got any predictions for Episode 9, leave them down in the comments below. I read and respond to as many comments as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great day.